it hanging? Welcome to PokeMeow TCG. I'm your host Christian. This is actually my first video, so welcome everyone who's watching. I had just gotten done with pre-release and I figured I'd come home and share with you guys what I played and how it went. I went to my local family fun shop called Family Fun Hobbies. Huge shout out to Rob there, owner and operator. He's a great guy. So let's get right into it. Those of you who have never attended a pre-release before, I'm just gonna go over the basic rules. Pretty much, you get a little box that looks something like this. And inside of this box comes cards, obviously. So what you get is a pack of cards. According to whatever promo you have, it has specific cards inside of that pack that you can use throughout the tournament. Also inside of this box, you get 4 booster packs. So what you get to do is open the booster packs, open the other cards, see what you got, and you get to make a 40 card deck. So instead of the typical 60 card deck with 6 prizes, you make a 40 card deck with 4 prizes. Pretty straightforward. There are special rules in pre-release tournaments. You can have more than 4 of a Pokemon, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, if you have, let's say for some weird reason you pull 5 Darkrai GX. It's actually not even possible, but we're just gonna use that as an example. You can actually play all 5 of those Darkrai GX only in pre-release tournaments, so. Like I said, they have special rules. I had gotten to Beware, which I was kind of happy about. I really wanted the Crabominable, but, tough luck. It's alright, I made do with what I had. Okay, so let's start going down the list of cards that I used in my deck. By the way, I went 3-0 and got first place. Unfortunately, there were no prizes for first place, second place, third place, or anything like that. Sometimes Rob will order up some mats that are custom made, and he'll give those out to the top 3 players. Unfortunately, this time he didn't. So let's get right into it. I opened my cards and I thought to myself, okay, I don't really have anything. So what I did is I used a lot of the cards that I got from the pack that comes with Beware, which is primarily the grass types, Oddish Gloom and a Vileplume. I actually wouldn't doubt these cards because they're pretty good, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see them getting some play in actual tournaments and on leagues. So, start out with Oddish, 50 HP Pokemon, not the greatest. You'd rather see, 60, 70, because usually some attacks are hitting for 60, as I'll show you later on, and can really take out those basic Pokemon really easily. He's got Poison Powder, pretty much just poisons your opponent's active Pokemon for 1 grass energy, and this is a trend in this Vileplume line of poisoning, confusing. Pretty much it's really easy to get set up as long as you can continue to evolve and continue to attach energies. I was running 2 of these, 2 Glooms, 80 HP. He has an attack pretty much the same thing as Oddish, except it confuses for 1 grass energy. Razor Leaf for a grass and a colorless for 30 damage. And then up to Vileplume, which has an awesome ability, and it actually won me a game, my last game, against Darkrai, which was awesome. It's called Disgusting Pollen. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's basic Pokemon can't attack. That's the reason why I'm saying this card may see some action during tournaments. He also has a second attack for 2 grass energies and a colorless, Downer Shock for 60 damage. You also get to flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's Pokemon is now asleep. If tails, it's confused. It's a win-win pretty much. I flipped heads a lot on this Vileplume. I was hoping to hit tails more, just so that the opponent would take a risk attacking me. If they're asleep, they can obviously roll in between turns and wake up and continue to, beat me down with whatever they got. So like I said, I'm playing a 2-2 line, or a 2-2-2 line, Oddish Gloom and Vileplume. On to the next, I have Alolan Rattata, which has a whopping 40 HP. It's not that great, but I do love this card, and I do love the card that it evolves into, Alolan Raticate. The HP jumps up significantly to 120, and both of these Pokemon have attacks that can be used for 0 energy. So Rattata, like I said, he has really low HP. It's really hard to get him going. His first attack, Focus Energy, is pretty cool if your opponent's active Pokemon doesn't have any energy on it. Pretty much you have to wait until next turn to use it, but it just makes the base damage of Bite for 1 dark colorless energy 60 instead of 10, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's good in the beginning of the game. Unfortunately, in pre-release, lots of decks consist of a lot of energies, so chances are Rattata is going to be knocked out if it's your active and you're not evolving it on your second turn. Now, Alolan Raticate, on the other hand, is awesome. He actually won me a lot of my games. Enhanced Fang for 0 energy. If this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached to it, this attack does 50 more damage. So it's doing 60 damage. It can knock out things like Oddish, Rattata, Alolan Vulpix, pretty much any basics that don't have 70 or 80 HP. I actually don't think there are any that have 80 HP, but I've come across a lot that had 70 today. Stuffle, for example, has 70, especially when you evolve him into Beware, jumps up to 120. On to the next one, I have a Alolan Vulpix, 60 HP. Now I really just added him in as a kind of safety net. It would have been really cool if I started with him. If I really got stuck in a jam, I could just use his Powder Snow attack, which is flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Pretty much just buying myself time. Like I said, you're going to have a lot of energies in your hand, especially for that Vileplume. You really want to stack energies on them as soon as you can and get them up there so you can use that Downer Shock attack. But besides that, I started out with 1, but I ended up taking out an energy and putting in another one just for consistency. So that is the Pokemon that I used. This Noivern GX is actually something that I just pulled. I figured I'd show you guys. I'll get to that later. As for my item cards, weakness policy. Pretty much it's a Pokemon tool. The Pokemon this card is attached to has no weakness, which is pretty good. I feel like it's going to see a lot more play than it has already, and this was a very important part to my deck. So what I would do is attach weakness policy to Raticate, and I would use his Enhanced Fang for 60 damage. Like I said, it won me a lot of games and got me a lot of KOs. The next trainer item card that we have is Wishful Baton. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by any damage from an opponent's attack, move up to 3 energy cards from that Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. This is awesome, especially if you're stacking energy. If you attach it to your Vileplume, which is what I did the majority of the time, and you have 3 energies and you're using Downer Shock and you happen to take or get the KO on the Vileplume, and you have Wishful Baton placed on it, you can just take all those energies, put them right onto another Vileplume that you have no energies on, bam, good to go. I didn't really like putting this on Alolan Raticate, only because I wasn't really putting energy on Alolan Raticate. The next we have Timer Ball. Flip 2 coins for each heads. Search your deck for evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. This comes in really handy, especially early game, as Nest Ball comes into play early game as well. You can search for basic Pokemon. So what I would try to do is just Nest Ball for an Oddish and a Rattata, and then I would Timer Ball, and depending on where I'm at in the game, either get a Gloom and a Vileplume or Eradicate and a Vileplume if I already have Gloom out on the field. It really did come in handy, and I was hitting a lot of heads today, which is awesome, and I definitely contribute that to my 3-0 record. As for supporters, there's a lot of new cool supporters in this set. Let's start with Wick. Each player counts the cards in their hand, shuffles those cards into their deck, and then draws that many cards. Now, in pre-release, it's really, really difficult to get draw power. Fortunately, in this set, there were a lot of draw power cards. So, Wick is good when you have a full hand of energies. I'm talking pre-release, obviously. You have a full hand of energies, 5 energies and a Wick in your hand. You can just play that Wick down, then you only have 4 cards left in your hand, shuffle all those energies into your deck and get a new hand of 4 cards. It really came in handy. As well as how, draw 3 cards. Unfortunately, I only had 1 of those, which I was kind of upset about, but I made up for it with 2 Professor Kukuis. I feel like everyone knows what Professor Kukui does, but draw 2 cards, and any attacks that you do during that turn, on your turn, do 20 more damage. There weren't really any cases where I needed the extra 20 damage. Like I said, it was more for draw support. You know, drawing 2 cards that could really make or break a game. Next we have Acerola. I really, really like this card, and I actually only found out today when I was playing with Alolan Raticate that it is a very, very nifty card. Put one of your Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all cards attached to it into your hand. So what I was doing here is pretty much letting my Alolan Raticate do 60 damage, 60 damage, 60 damage. It has a weakness policy attached to it. What I would do is continue to do that, have a Rattata on my bench. It's really hard to find another Raticate unless you use a timer ball or you're using a lot of draw power. So what I would do is once Raticate took a lot of damage, I would play Acerola, pick up the Rattata, the Raticate, and the weakness policy, and then I would just put my new my bench Rattata into the active, evolve him in Eradicate, put the weakness policy on, and there you go. You have a whole new Pokemon that is ready to attack the same turn, and you take away pretty much a KO from your opponent. I think that this card is going to be very, very good in the future, especially after rotation. Next we have Lily. Once again, more draw power. It's awesome if you get it on your first turn, and then you can draw 8 cards instead of 6. And this prized possession that I have, Full Art Guzma. It's pretty much a Lysander with Escape Rope. So you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so you get to choose. You switch their active with one of their bench, and then you get to choose switching your active with one of your bench. Now, you have to switch if you do have bench Pokemon. I actually found myself in a lot of cases where I didn't have any bench Pokemon. I didn't need to switch. I had a fully stacked Vileplume down, and I could just switch out their Pokemon. So, in a sense, it was a Lysander in that situation. This is a really cool card. I was really excited that I pulled it. I'll let you guys check it out a little bit closer. On top of that, I played, I believe, 12 Grass Energy and 4 Darkness Energy. The reason why I played the Darkness Energy is... Actually, I don't even know why I played the Darkness Energy. Raticate can attack for no energy, or you can use Hyper Fang. It doesn't really make sense. I guess I played it in there just in case I didn't have the weakness policy attached to Raticate. Then I could use Hyper Fang. Unfortunately, you have to flip a coin. If Tails, it does nothing. If Heads, it does 60. The same as Enhanced Fang with a weakness policy put onto it. So I want to show you guys this. Like I said, I went 3-0. I was very excited. I got first place. And yeah, so I hope that you guys all went to your pre-release. You had a lot of fun. I know that I did. Also got this Noivern GX. In total, I got 8 booster packs, which is pretty awesome for 30 bucks if you think about it, especially when it hasn't been released yet. So I got my 4 booster packs from the box. Then we played 3 rounds. The first round, pretty much a warm-up game. Second and third round, the winner of those rounds got a pack, and then at the end of it, you get 2 packs, totaling 8 packs. Unfortunately, the only thing that I did pull is the Guzma and also this Noivern GX. Honestly, I think the Noivern GX isn't going to be played that much, if at all, really. It's a dragon Pokemon. It has 200 HP, which isn't bad for a Stage 1 GX, I guess. But the thing is, Double Dragon Energy is going to be rotated. I'm not sure if they're going to be reprinting it or not. I would hope that they are, considering it pretty much makes all Dragon Pokemon obsolete if you don't have Double Dragon Energy. His GX attack is decent for a Psychic, Darkness, and a Colorless Energy. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty straightforward. I could see this being played with Tapu Koko, the promo, Alolan Ninetales, but like I said, you're going to be using Double Dragon Energy if you can with this card. Its first attack for a Darkness and a Colorless does 50 damage. Your opponent can't play any item cards from their hand during their next turn. This isn't a bad attack, honestly, for a Dark and a Colorless. So if you're playing a Dark deck, why not throw a 2/2 Noivern GX line in there, and you can kind of disrupt them a little bit while doing 50 damage. It's not bad. The second attack, Psychic, Darkness, and a Colorless, does 120 damage. Your opponent can't play any special energy cards from their hand during your next turn. So I'm actually realizing that this may be a decent card. Like I said, I doubt it's going to see any tournament play, but it's a really good disruption card. You know, your opponent is going to have to think twice before they decide to either knock it out, switch it out, let it stay in the active. So all in all, not a bad pre-release. Someone had pulled a Rainbow Rare Charizard GX, which was awesome. I've seen a couple Darkrai floating around. My last match actually was up against a Darkrai, and I had Vileplume in the active. His ability, basic Pokemon can attack. He had that Darkrai piled up and he was hitting for 130, but once I put my Vileplume in the active, he couldn't really do anything, which is the reason why I won. I won't even lie. Yeah, so there it is, guys. I hope that everyone went to a pre-release at some point, if not already. I hope that you do get to go out to one. They're a ton of fun. Sitting there with butterflies, waiting to get your box and open your packs and see what kind of stuff you're going to be pulling. Like I said, guys, this is my first video. I was going to do an intro video, but I decided to just go straight into this and show you guys my pre-release deck. Yeah, so if you'd like, you can subscribe to my channel, Pokemeow TCG. That would be awesome. I would love the support. And I will see you guys next time.